Hey everybody, Greg here, and this is a short video answering a common question that comes in from people wanting to know how I got started in developing websites and what that involves, and how do I attract new clients and that kind of thing. So I'm always happy to share about my business strategy and practices and tools and all of that, whether it's my computer work that I do, or helping people do marketing promotion, or website development. So I want to start out by giving you some context, just a little bit of background. When I was in college, and then shortly after that, my background was simultaneously in languages, in Spanish, and also I had an emphasis on computers and technology. And so as my career started to develop, I had to make a decision about whether or not I was going to become, a programmer, or was I going to go in another direction. So to me, it seemed like programming would involve a lot of kind of solitary time. I mean, even if you're part of a development team, you're going to be working on your own aspect of code and developing it and debugging and all that. And I'd done some of that, and it just seemed kind of, boring in a way. And I thought, as I saw players like Microsoft emerging, and this was early on, when Microsoft Word 1.0 came out, I thought, there's no way, like, as one person or me and a dozen friends or whatever, developing some program, we're probably not going to be able to, compete head to head with Microsoft, and similar companies. That's not to say, there's certainly been people developing apps for iPhone, etc. But back then, I thought, as a career decision, hey, why don't I support whoever happens to come out winning? Because at the time, it wasn't clear. There were others back then in the game, doing software development. And I thought, I don't know who's going to come out ahead. I don't want to jump in the game myself and try to be, become like a competitor to Microsoft or whatever. So anyway, I decided then just to support the apps that eventually percolated to the surface and that hundreds and thousands and millions of people would be using. I thought, I'll just become an expert on whatever somebody develops, and I'll provide support for that. So that's what I did. And as Microsoft and Windows became a prominent platform, and Apple had their platform as well, I just became a supporter, what you might call, desktop support, or user support, that type of thing. And also had hardware skills necessary to mechanically fix hardware. And that's worked well. So similarly, I want to bring this back around to web development. I thought, yeah, maybe that's what I need to do, develop my HTML and PHP skills, and start developing web apps and from scratch, making websites from scratch. And I've done that. I've created websites using HTML. But as requests came in and I needed to produce results and have a quick turnaround time, I realized, there are already content management systems in place. There are already themes in place that development teams have worked on and honed over years. So, like, why would I start from scratch? So it just made sense to me to go ahead and leverage and utilize the existing resources that were already developed, like content management systems and themes, and become proficient in maybe making some tweaks and modifications to those themes, but in general, working with the existing tools and resources. And so, that's worked out pretty well. And, essentially what I do then is, when I have a customer, business customer, or just somebody that wants to have a website for their band, or, small book publishing company or whatever, I kind of point people in that direction, because I also think it's the best thing for the customer, for the end user, for, the person that needs a website, rather than spending thousands of dollars and becoming really kind of committed to and dependent upon a team of specialists and programmers and developers that you get kind of locked in with. I just have encouraged people to go ahead and just use a content management system, or in some cases, go ahead and use these website making platforms that are offered by hosting companies, so as an example, GoDaddy has their website builder, and they have a shopping cart component. So for a simple commerce site, a person can go in and let GoDaddy basically manage the back end of that and develop a simple website and sell whatever it is they're selling. So anyway, I know that doesn't sound glamorous and exciting, and for people that are writing me, wanting to know, oh, what kind of programming language do you use? It's like, no, I sit down with people in, an hour over, a coffee break or something, launch a website, and that includes like them figuring out what their domain name is, maybe even helping them with a little bit of branding, logo, get the site put together. They're trained on how to manage it, done. Now they pay directly to WordPress $18 a year and get on with life. It's like, rather than getting bogged down into the time-consuming and expensive business of people trying to get on top of the dog pile of website development. So, and I should say, as far as anything we do, you want to measure with data, and you want to be data driven and outcomes focused. So the outcome is these $18 a year websites actually work. They generate business. They have low overhead. They have little to zero, ongoing maintenance issues. So, I think it's overall just been a great thing. So, anyway, and then as far as like attracting customers, I just basically whatever the business it is that I'm trying to develop, what I do is I tell people it's a good idea to have at least two websites. One website is going to be thenameofyourbusiness.com, just so if somebody's looking for your business name, they'll find you, right? But if you have one of these quirky business names, people aren't going to be necessarily, somebody that doesn't know about your business is probably not going to be searching for your business. So let's say you have something like, a lawn care business, but it's called, Drexel Enterprises or whatever. They're not going to be looking up Drexel Enterprises. They're going to be looking up lawn care, Iowa City, So what you'd want to at least give you a leg up to start with is you'd want a domain that's like Iowa City Best Lawn Care, or Iowa City Green Lawn Care, or Iowa City. Get Iowa City and get lawn care in the name, because that's what people are going to be searching on. And have that be your kind of listing that people are going to find. And then, put your phone number, your address there, and there you are. So, and then eventually, as your own primary business website gets some presence and people start linking to it, and you want to list it as a Google place, you'll get some positioning. So that's what I've done, is I put together some keywords for web development and that type of thing, Iowa City, and so now if somebody searches Iowa City web development, chances are they'll find me and some other people out there, and so that generates business, and also word of mouth, really, because it's not like you're selling small dollar items to 1,000 people a day. These are larger projects in some cases that you're going to work on with people, so you can't take 1,000 calls a day, and what you really want are a few good customers that you can work with who will refer other good customers. So that's the key. And sometimes, getting started, hey, you might have to do some work for free. Just volunteer for some nonprofit organization or family member, or, you know, start building your portfolio. So people, because it's sort of a catch-22, you know, people aren't going to have you do work until they see some of the work you've done, right? So you need to have a portfolio. And you're not going to get that till you get customers, and you're not going to get customers. So here's the deal. You have to kind of go out and start actually just doing some work. And you might even say to a small business that you like, or just, you know, somebody you want to do a website for, just say, hey, I'm willing to do a website for free. Let me know what you think, you know. Now, one of the tricks, well, I won't say trick, but one of the principles and key aspects to this is that people are, they're only going to want your website to represent them if it's really good quality. And really, if you ask yourself, you only want their website to represent you if it's only good, you know, really good quality. So you want to be careful about what you put out there. And one of the challenges that you'll find is you might do a website for somebody, and especially, you know, one of these sites that is a WordPress website, easy to update, easy to add content to. You might do one of those, and now the person realizes, hey, this is really easy to do. I'm going to do this on my own. So you have this website listed in your portfolio, and it looked great when you created it, right? But now the person that owns the site, they might have gone in there and changed the background to be bright orange, and the text is green, and they got these fuzzy pictures, and it looks horrible, right? So you can't control that. So you might not even want that in your portfolio anymore, because it's not going to, you know, be representative of what you can do. Now, something else you can consider is going ahead and creating a website that you just create, like a demo website, and show people and say, hey, this is a website I did. It's not for any particular, you know, person or business, but it's just to showcase some of my skills, you know. Now, to some extent, your own website is going to do that and be that, right? So the website you create for your personal site or your business site, that's going to communicate a lot to people. But, you know, to show some variety, you might want to put together a few other websites, samples of what you might do for a particular industry. So that's important. It's not just people are finding you on the web, but when they find you, they're impressed with the content they find. So anyway, I hope that helps answer those questions that come in from people who are, you know, asking about the web business and how I got started and how I keep it going, and that's that type of thing. So anyway, appreciate all the questions that come in. Let me know if you have any comments, suggestions, and have a great day.